Hallöchen und once again willkommen zurück zu Stanley. What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? No. Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. Finde ich gut. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I have adjusted all of the game's settings to the exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. Blah, English. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. And I still don't really know you. Blah. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? Oh ja, ich mag das sehr gerne. That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There's still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. Okay. Okay. Was ich gemacht habe, seit dem letzten Mal, ich habe mir einen Guide organisiert. Oh, der ist mir von einem Freund zugeschickt worden. To be honest.
All of his
Betreffend,
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
betreffend alle möglichen Enden und so. Und anscheinend ist es so, dass die Entwickler wirklich hobbylos waren. Weil es anscheinend für jedes Ending noch eine zweite Variant gibt. Mit dem Bucket. Was wir heute machen werden, ist, ich werde jetzt mal schauen, dass ich die ganzen regulären Endings
Stanley came to
durchspiele.
a set of two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Und dann werden die nächsten paar Folgen dass wir tatsächlich alle Endings noch in einer Bucket Variant
Coming
durchspielen.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Genau. Und was wir jetzt machen werden, wir verpissen uns hier wieder. Wait, das ist aber wrong. Wait, ich hab verkackt. Vielleicht ist das Skateboard anlegen machen. Okay, da habe ich eine andere Idee.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh,
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I
Well.
won't tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Unterstützt und so. Genau, dieses Ending, das ist komplett neu. Besteht daraus, mit dem Aufzug hin und her zu fahren. Ziemlich literally. Ja.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is.
Sicher.
What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Geil.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Ja, das wüsstest du wohl gerne. Fuck you.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Same though. Ich bin sehr gespannt, was jetzt da oben ist.
God,
What?
it's the boss's office.
Das habe ich honestly ein bisschen
That
gejumpscared.
changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
What the fuck? Geil. Was zur Hölle? Dieses Bild auch.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
Das ist dein Ernst? Oh Mann, Alter. Kann mich wenigstens bewegen? Ist das was so Stanley Parable-mäßig? Nee, okay.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley. Of course, going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Up again.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating
Was könnte da oben
and having
los
to
sein?
guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Oh my god.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley,
What the fuck?
it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters?
Well,
Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises? To have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal. This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Die Aufnahme lag doch mittlerweile. Ich restarte mal ganz kurz. Ich glaube, es ist nicht so geil.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Oh, live on Stanley, live on stage. World's healthiest human being. We did the pyramids. Oh, Elon Musk. World Peace, baby.
Ah, yes, here it is.
Warum sind da Minecraft-Door-Sounds?
Right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
What the heck? Jesus, war das laut. Okay.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figures. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one.
Oh.
Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Sure. Lol.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again.
Oh no, not again. Schade.
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith in you to find any, but you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
Danke für nix OBS, erstens mal. Zweitens, ich glaube, die haben wir zuerst gefunden. Ja. Bis sich OBS beruhigt hat.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the... You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but in peace. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your 3rd time doing anything.
So, nach einem Restart von OBS.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
What?
Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
This was the 5th mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy. Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on.
Ah, OBS, du Hurensohn. Nichts gebracht, du Mistjan.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final thing, right here behind the boss. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley, and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collect. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like. And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Aha, ja.
Okay, yes. The back of the boss's office. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
Das ist absolut so geglaubt.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Good job, narrator, I guess.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Leave it. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memory, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this? Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Oh, yes. The two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making. I became lazy. And I came up with, well, came Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for notes. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion. Even if he... But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need... Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once. And give Stanley one run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling us. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named...
Es fuckt mich so sehr ab. Jesus Christus. Und andere Götter auch.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, entered the door on...
Wisst ihr was? Ich beende die Folge hier. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Ich werde jetzt nochmal irgendein Ending spielen. Und wenn was sich ändert, dann schneide ich das noch hinten dran. Aber sonst bedanke ich mich fürs Zuschauen. Falls euch gefallen hat, lasst ein Like und ein Abo da. Bis zum nächsten Mal und ciao.